And that was one of the things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I wanted like because the Blue Jays did it over the COVID. Well, we're still in the pandemic, but when it was specifically they were in Buffalo/Dunedin, it was both. Is that something you could see working? Because part of my question right now is how much are fans listening to the game on the radio in our market, like in specifically Metro Vancouver, and I don't, and in Calgary. How much is that like we're turning on our TV to watch the game as opposed to listen to the radio?
So, well, that's two questions, really.
I
The
understand that.
first,
Yeah,
the first being, can it work? Just taking the TV broadcast and putting it in an audio only format. And my answer is unequivocally no. I hate
I
it.
agree
It
with you.
drives me crazy. And I mean, any student that has had me in their class knows how much it pisses me off because it's a huge middle finger to the listener, not the viewer, because the viewer doesn't know the difference. But to the listener, it is an absolute, like, we don't care about you. And I've talked about this in class here in Vancouver. And I mean, I know people that work there, so I'm not at all crapping on these people personally. But the Global News Hour at 6 is simulcast on CKNW 980. And you'll hear Sophie Louie and Chris Galis, who are the anchors on Global News at 6, say things like, you can see here in the video where this truck ran into the tree. Mm-hmm. Guess what? I'm listening on CKNW. I can't see that truck at all. So it's a huge FU to the listener to just take a TV broadcast and chunk it onto the radio. And sports is no different. Yeah. Because there's, like, you can say, oh, you can see the ball there is outside, or you can see that shot just missed the net. No, I can't. I can't see that.
And even the individual news stories, like on radio, if you do a voiceover, you will introduce or say the name of the person who's about to talk. But on TV, you just rely on the graphic a lot of the time.
There's a chyron, really, exactly, with the name of the person, their title, and it's like, there's this random voice just coming out of nowhere. I have no clue who this is. Like, so to me, if they want to do it effectively, you need to basically rethink the way that you present a TV broadcast as well. And take out all the visual references, because you can't do it.
So there was a time we had some technical issues with our TV broadcast, and I had to do the play-by-play. We had audio, no TV. So I had to literally call the game as if it was the radio. And it's it's two different skills. It is completely two different things. Describing this on the radio, which people like Jim Robson and Peter Marr Rod Phillips were absolutely fantastic at. And what Jim Houston and what John Shorthouse does now, Rick Ball, what they do on the TV, those are two fantastically different skills that you absolutely cannot blend. Like, and especially in hockey.
Like, the fact is they have, because every single person that you mentioned has done radio too.
No, but what I'm saying is I don't think I'm agreeing with you that you cannot do a radio and a TV broadcast together. It's impossible to, like, you're going to lose one of the two audiences.
But it saves money.
It does.
Yeah, that's why we have you on, Brian, to tell us we're wrong and that it's not heading in this dangerous direction.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I guess one of let's talk about money, and then we'll get into the deeper issue here. What are the corporate sponsors talking about?
Wait, hold on. Can I answer the second half of your question? I just realized you asked me two questions.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
So, like, are people actually listening on the radio? Well, I think for, like, the 55 plus crowd, absolutely. I think for people who work, like, in a vehicle all the time, or work at, like, a job at, like, a gas station where they can't sit there and watch the game, absolutely there's a captive audience for an audio only broadcast. I think there definitely is. Because listening to audio is definitely a less intrusive experience than is watching video. Like, guess what? If your boss walks in and you're watching something on your phone, your boss is going to be ticked off. But if you've just got the Canucks game on or the Flames game on while you're working away, no problem, provided you're allowed to listen to it. So that's to me like the total difference. And so again, I think, and like to answer your question, like in a succinct way, Kevin, like you are absolutely risking losing that audience altogether. Now, does that audience care as much as someone like me who knows the nuances of working with audio does? Maybe not. Like maybe they don't. Maybe they just care about like the fact that did Canucks or Flames score a goal or save a goal, like whatever. Maybe they don't care. I don't know. But to me, there are certain people that are like, there's no way you can do it. It's incredibly insulting to your audience.
Yeah. So, and in today now, like there is a form of, so now the question is, if you're the team, do you need the radio station per se, or can you deliver that audio only broadcast just over the internet? Right. I mean, now you can put that on in the background as long as you have internet access and it's reasonably affordable to leave that thing running for 2.5 to 3 hours. Probably better audio quality than listening off, particularly an AM signal, but even an FM signal, streaming is going to deliver a better audio signal than off of FM radio. So the question is now, on radio, it's available for free. Yes, it's not entirely free streaming, but affordable for most people. Would a team sort of like to balance the two and say, well, we don't. If we lose a few people off of the traditional radio, and it's still cheaper for us overall to provide this audio only content ourselves on some streaming service, is that a possibility for the team?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And some teams have said that. But the fact is that, I mean, you brought up an amazing point there, Tyler. The fact is that what's the beauty of radio is that it is free. Mm-hmm. And sure, there's commercials, but guess what? If you have a free Spotify, there's commercials too. So it's like you watch YouTube for free. There's commercials there. In fact, you pay for YouTube because you use your internet or your data.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's not really free. And so yet the radio is completely like, all you need is this thing to listen to it, which every car has almost, except for some of the newer ones. And it's like, or if you talk like those people that I talked about that are stuck in these jobs and whatever, well, they're not going to stream a game on their phone. Like, and you're right, you use your data. Like, sure, data plans are better and better, but like, we know what the economy is like. We see the price of gas and we sit there and we go, all right, I'm trying to cut corners wherever I can, save money however I can. If that means I'm not using, and I get that audio doesn't use as much data as video does on a mobile device, but still, I could see a situation where people may just choose not to listen at all. Like, they might just have the radio on at their workplace or whatever and be listening to whatever radio station or satellite radio is piped in to their workplace in that case.